Okay, we're back for the second video in this coaching and training series on criticism. I gave you your first challenge and your first question. What I want you to think about now is something completely different. It's very difficult for us to change and accept criticism if we always see ourselves as a victim of life and a victim of circumstance or a victim of bad decisions. See, the last video spoke about placing blame. That was a tongue twister. Placing blame on others, whether or not we controlled the circumstances or didn't. And if we do that, a lot of times we'll consider ourselves just a victim of circumstances, or it's somebody else's fault or their problem, and we're just the victim in it. We're innocent. We don't have anything to do with it. People bully us. People are haters. People are always coming at us from all different sides, and well, I'm just the victim here. I have no responsibility in this at all. Well, if we're always believing that we're a victim of circumstance or life or other people's actions, then we're excusing ourselves from having to accept anything that we might need to change or learn or grow from. And actually, we enable ourselves to stay the same. So while we might say we want to change, while we might want to improve our lives, actually, we're the very person that's preventing this, and we're making ourselves stagnant, and we're not growing, we're not learning, we're not listening to any criticism. I do want to caution you on criticism, though, that if people are criticizing you, there are two types of criticism. There's a constructive criticism and there's a destructive criticism. There are people that are very destructive, and you may need to implement some boundaries in order to protect yourself from their destructive criticism. In dealing with people, you will come to know whether or not they are constructive or destructive. If their sole goal is to tear you apart, tear you down, and leave you broken and bleeding, then it's likely somebody who is a destructive person in your life, and you may need to put some proper boundaries in place to protect yourself from them. However, that's a long sentence there. However, if they are offering you constructive criticism out of love, out of concern, that they want to help you, that they are a mentor to you, somebody to help you learn, grow. Maybe they have more experience than you. Maybe they've walked the same path that you're walking before. It is wise to listen to their wise and godly counsel so that we can learn from them, and we can listen, and we catch those glimpses of, ooh, I can learn from this, or oh, I better watch that, or maybe I can change this. But see, if we always make ourselves out to be the poor victim in that poor me mindset, we basically excuse ourselves from that. Now, I'm not saying that everything that happens is our fault. That's not what I'm saying at all. There are things that we endure in life that we've had absolutely no control over, and that's not what I'm talking about. But it doesn't matter, because even still, we can learn from that. We can take what we've learned. We can take those opportunities, we can listen to criticisms from people, and we can learn from them. So what you need to do when you're looking at whether or not you always tend to make yourself out to be the victim is the person that's giving me this advice, is it out of love, and is it done with my growth in mind? Or is it done to destroy me and just leave me bleeding on the sidewalk? They don't care. That's the first thing I want you to think about when somebody's offering criticism, is to determine what type it is. Then you need to think about, am I making myself out to be a victim? Do I feel victimized? You know, somebody can offer us godly advice and good wisdom, and we can still feel like a victim. That's how the opposition and the enemy will work, because that voice inside our head will make us feel inferior or defeated, and that's not what it's meant to be. That constructive criticism is there to help grow us so that we can mature and we can endure. Those are priceless, and we need to pay attention to those moments, the people who are really invested into helping us learn and grow and go. They are there, and they are in our lives for a reason. So if we're feeling victimized because somebody is offering us constructive criticism, we may need to renew our mind and say, that's the enemy working in my life, and I need to listen to this person and take what they've said and heed it, learn from it, mature, and see what I can do with it. I'm going to take that criticism to heart and listen, and I'm going to work through it to see if there's something maybe here that I really need to pay attention to. On the other hand, if it's destructive, you might need to get rid of it because it is not good. There are critical spirits. There are people that we may not need to listen to, because they come in to kill, destroy, and distort things. Now, I'm going to say this too. There are sometimes individuals who mean well, but they're too close to the situation. And this can be your close friends and sometimes your family. Well, I have your best interest at heart. Yes, I know you do, but you're too close to this situation and you're very biased in this. And I may need to seek somebody out who's neutral. That's where a mentor who is not family or who's not a close friend can really look at our lives objectively and guide us in ways that are not biased. So that they're not there to destroy us, but they're not there just to agree with us to make us feel good. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Because they don't want to hurt our feelings. That's not good either. So criticism, we need to make sure that 1, it is constructive and it's not destructive. And 2, is it coming from somebody that's either too close to the situation or from a neutral party that I can trust and I can take it to heart to learn and grow from the constructive criticism that I have just received. That's what I want you to think about at this point. Okay? And I'll be back to finish this up in just a moment.